not concern himself about that. "It is better that one should die than two," said he. In the meantime Minnikin begged the kitchen maid very prettily to give him leave to go down to the strand for a short time. "Oh, what could you do down at the strand?" said the kitchen maid. "You have nothing to do there." "Oh yes, my dear, just let me go," said Minnikin. "I should so like to go and amuse myself with the other children." "Well, well, go then," said the kitchen maid, "but don't let me find you staying there over the time when the pan has to be set on the fire for supper, and the roast put on the spit, and mind you bring back a good big armful of wood for the kitchen." Minnikin promised this, and ran down to the seashore. Just as he got to the place where the King's daughter was sitting, the Troll came rushing up with a great whistling and whirring, and he was so big and stout that he was terrible to see, and he had 5 heads. "Fire!" screeched the Troll. "Fire yourself!" said Minnikin. "Can you fight?" roared the Troll. "If not, I can learn," said Minnikin. So the Troll struck at him with a great thick iron bar which he had in his fist, till the sods flew 5 yards up into the air. "Fie!" said Minnikin. "That was not much of a blow. Now you shall see one of mine." So he grasped the sword which he had got from the old crook-backed woman, and slashed at the Troll, so that all 5 heads went flying away over the sands. When the Princess saw that she was delivered she was so delighted that she did not know what she was doing, and skipped and danced. "Come and sleep a bit with your head in my lap," she said to Minnikin, and as he slept she put a golden dress on him. But when Ritter Red saw that there was no longer any danger afoot, he lost no time in creeping down from the tree. He then threatened the Princess, until at length she was forced to promise to say that it was he who had rescued her, for he had told her that if she did not he would kill her. Then he took the Troll's lungs and tongue and put them in his pocket handkerchief, and led the Princess back to the King's palace, and whatsoever had been lacking to him in the way of honor before was lacking no longer, for the King did not know how to exalt him enough, and always set him on his own right hand at table. As for Minnikin, first he went out on the Troll's ship, and took a great quantity of gold and silver hoops away with him, and then he trotted back to the King's palace. When the kitchen maid caught sight of all this gold and silver, she was quite amazed, and said, "My dear friend Minnikin, where have you got all that from?" for she was half afraid that he had not come by it honestly. "Oh," answered Minnikin, "I have been home a while, and these hoops had fallen off some of our buckets, so I brought them away with me for you." So when the kitchen maid heard that they were for her, she asked no more questions about the matter. She thanked Minnikin, and everything was right again at once. Next Thursday evening all went just the same, and everyone was full of grief and affliction, but Ritter Red said that he had been able to deliver the King's daughter from one Troll, so that he could very easily deliver her from another, and he led her down to the seashore. But he did not do much harm to this Troll either, for when the time came when the Troll might be expected, he said as he had said before, "It is better that one should die than two," and he climbed up into the tree again. Minnikin once more begged the cook's leave to go down to the seashore for a short time. "Oh, what can you do there?" said the cook. "My dear, do let me go," said Minnikin. "I should like to go down there and amuse myself a little with the other children." So this time also she said that he should have leave to go, but he must first promise that he would be back by the time the joint was turned, and that he would bring a great armful of wood with him. No sooner had Minnikin got down to the strand than the Troll came rushing along with a great whistling and whirring, and he was thrice as big as the first Troll, and he had 10 heads. "Fire!" shrieked the Troll. "Fire yourself!" said Minnikin. "Can you fight?" roared the Troll. "If not, I can learn," said Minnikin. So the Troll struck at him with his iron club, which was bigger than that which the first Troll had had, so that the earth flew 10 yards up in the air. "Fie!" said Minnikin. "That was not much of a blow. Now you shall see one of my blows." Then he grasped his sword and struck at the Troll so that all his 10 heads danced away over the sands. And again the King's daughter said to him, "Sleep a while on my lap." And while Minnikin lay there she drew some silver raiment over him. As soon as Ritter Red saw that there was no longer any danger afoot, he crept down from the tree and threatened the Princess until at last she was again forced to promise to say that it was he who had rescued her, after which he took the tongue and the lungs of the Troll and put them in his pocket handkerchief, and then he conducted the Princess back to the palace. There was joy and gladness in the palace, as it may be imagined, and the King did not know how to show enough honor and respect to Ritter Red. Minnikin, however, took home with him an armful of gold and silver hoops from the Troll's ship. When he came back to the King's palace, the kitchen maid clapped her hands and wondered where he could have got all that gold and silver, but Minnikin answered that he had been home for a short time, and that it was only the hoops which had fallen off some pails, and that he had brought them away for the kitchen maid. When the 3rd Thursday evening came, everything happened exactly as it had happened on the 2 former occasions. Everything in the King's palace was hung with black, and everyone was sorrowful and distressed. But Ritter Red said that he did not think that they had much reason to be afraid. He had delivered the King's daughter from 2 Trolls, so he could easily deliver her from the 3rd as well. He led her down to the strand, but when the time drew near for the Troll to come, he climbed up into the tree again and hid himself. The Princess wept and entreated him to stay, but all to no purpose. He stuck to his old speech, "It is better that 1 life should be lost than 2." This evening also Minnikin begged for leave to go down to the seashore. "Oh, what can you do there?" answered the kitchen maid. However, he begged until at last he got leave to go, but he was forced to promise that he would be back again in the kitchen when the roast had to be turned. And almost immediately after he had got down to the seashore, the Troll came with a great whizzing and whirring, and he was much, much bigger than either of the 2 former ones, and he had 15 heads. "Fire!" roared the Troll. "Fire yourself!" said Minnikin. "Can you fight?" screamed the Troll. "If not, I can learn," said Minnikin. "I will teach you," yelled the Troll, and struck at him with his iron club so that the earth flew up 15 yards high into the air. "Fie!" said Minnikin. "That was not much of a blow. Now I will let you see one of my blows." So saying, he grasped the sword and cut at the Troll in such a way that all his 15 heads danced away over the sands. Then the Princess was delivered, and she thanked Minnikin and blessed him for saving her. "Sleep a while now on my lap," said she, and while he lay there she put a garment of brass upon him. "But now how shall we have made it known that it was you who saved me?" said the King's daughter. "That I will tell you," answered Minnikin. "When Ritter Red has taken you home again, and given out that it was he who rescued you, he will, as you know, have you to wife, and half the kingdom. But when they ask you on your wedding day whom you will have to be your cupbearer, you must say, 'I will have the ragged boy who is in the kitchen and carries wood and water for the kitchen maid. And when I am filling your cups for you, I will spill a drop upon his plate, but none upon yours, and then he will be angry and strike me, and this will take place thrice. But the 3rd time you must say, Shame on you thus to spite the beloved of mine heart. It is he who delivered me from the Troll, and he is the one whom I will have.'" Then Minnikin ran back to the King's palace as he had done before.